What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to Monday night's late night agenda. As always, I'm your host Craig, and you are very, very welcome along tonight. How the hell are we all doing out there? As I'm watching this, as we're streaming this, the United Arsenal game is just finishing up. Loads for us to get through on tonight's show. Just a reminder that we have cut down the length of the late night agendas now, so the shows are only going to be around 45 minutes to an hour long. The talking point tonight, the main talking point, as you could probably see, is that there has been suggestions that Maddison should join Liverpool. Now, I will get to it, don't worry. I just want to get a few people in the chat, let people start to come in. I know people would have been watching the end of the United game. My God, it was terrible, wasn't it? Like, let's be honest about this. The state of that match, it was absolutely awful. Pepe isn't that good like he was at Lille, said Sarabia. I was thinking the same thing. I've said this numerous times throughout the summer. There's been very few occasions where Liverpool haven't signed somebody that we've been linked to, and they've gone on to make us look foolish. In fact, I can't really remember any. And Nicolas Pepe, whilst it's far too early to write a player off, he looks shy. He looks absolutely terrible at this moment in time. But to be fair, if he was a Liverpool player, I'd still be saying give him time. It's his first season in the Premier League, and I think that's fair. We've got to do that for him, even though he isn't that great at the moment, if we're being honest. Look, ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight to the title of tonight's stream. A lot of people want to know what's it about with James Maddison. Former Leicester City manager Mickey Adams has urged James Maddison to sign for Liverpool or Manchester City, and not to bother with signing for Manchester United if he decides to move on from Leicester. Speaking about it, he said, Leicester have shown in terms of wages and ambition that they're as good as anybody. Maddison would have to go to Manchester City or Liverpool to improve on what he's got at Leicester. As a young man, he's just got to keep developing his game and working hard. He must not listen to the hype or get ahead of himself. That's the big time, and it comes back to bites with the ass as a footballer. Do you know what? I think it's a decent bit of advice there from Mickey Adams, if I'm being honest about it. Loads of you guys want James Maddison to come to Liverpool. I've spoken many times about my admiration for Maddison as well. I felt in the summer that it was right for him to stay at Leicester City. It was right for him to get another season under his belt. He's going to get lots of football there. He's got a manager that will try and get the best out of him. And if he does move on next summer to Manchester City, to Liverpool, whoever it might be, I'd imagine Leicester City will command one hell of a fee for that as well. But I'm not going to lie, I do like the player. I really, really do like the player. I just don't know if we go to the type of money that Leicester will be probably rightly asking for Maddison. This does look like one player who, when we were linked to before Leicester signed him, we probably should have pulled the trigger on. I know we had an ankle injury for Norwich right at the end of that season that Leicester did sign him in the summer, so perhaps that maybe put us off. But look, Leicester rolled the dice in James Maddison, and it was a very good investment for them. He's turned out to be a smashing player. Continuing to everyone else who's coming in as well. Indeed, that's fair, Craig. He needs time, said Sarabia. Yeah, look, I can't be a hypocrite. If Pepe was a Liverpool player, I would be saying the same thing. He needs time. He's not great, but he needs time, and it's only fair that Nicolas Pepe gets at least a full season as well before we say how shy he looks. If he comes to Liverpool, I'll have a massive said the official tart. I'm not saying that there, mate. I prefer Tielemans, suits us better, said Brian Morrissey. I don't know, mate. I think I disagree with you on this one. I think Tielemans is a very good player. I just think that Maddison would be the one for me if we were to pick anybody. A boy is in the chat. Of course, boy said there seems to be a mistake in the thumbnail. No, actually it came from one of your former managers, boy. Mickey Adams was speaking about it, and he was just saying that basically if Maddison does leave, it would be better for him to go to Liverpool or City than to somewhere like Manchester United. Where's my Liverpool top today? I don't wear Liverpool tops every day. I say this to people all the time. I wear whatever chavvy item I see I have lying around when I come on streams. Today it's this Adidas hoodie. Do you know I like repping Adidas, so why not? Is that Craig or Connor? Said Happily Eggs. On the Anfield Agenda account, Connor. Connor always does the chatting for... I'm the one that does the yapping on here. Connor does the text. Right, what else have we got tonight? I've got to keep this flying along because I've got to record another segment afterwards. Myself and Brian Morrissey are going to do a bit of a preview for the Salzburg game, and we're going to catch up on this month's FPL as well, so keep an eye out for that. That'll be coming out tomorrow. We're going to be recording that after tonight's late night agenda. Liverpool have found something out actually. Liverpool will be playing their World Club Cup games at the Education City Stadium in Doha, which is the capital of Qatar. Regardless of whether we get through the semi-final or not, Liverpool will be playing both of their games in the Education City Stadium in Doha because our semi-final and the final and third, fourth place playoff are all taking place in that same stadium. So there'll not be much travelling for the Reds once we get there. As I said, we know exactly where we're going to be based. We know exactly where we're going to be playing for hopefully lifting that World Club Cup in December. But yeah, the Education City Stadium in Doha, the capital of Qatar, is where we will be based, or where we will be playing both our games in the World Club Cup. What have we got here? Mr. Pate said we need a creative midfielder like Maddison. Chris wants Adidas to host us, cheeky guy. Who's Chris? What does host mean? Craig wants Adidas to sponsor us. Yes, Craig wants Adidas to make Liverpool kits. Definitely said that numerous times, but it looks like it will be Nike with regard to Liverpool kits. I'm just an Adidas fan. Bit of an Adidas fanboy, you know. Like, if you watch back my streams, you'll see I wear a lot of Adidas stuff. If only we were sponsored by Adidas, or the channel. I mean, I'm not talking about Liverpool there. Callum reckons Liverpool are going to beat Leicester City by 2-0, and don't worry, ladies and gents, we will be building up to that game as well. Some good news around the Leicester City game. I'm going to be recording a segment later on in the week with Leicester City FC Boya in the chat there as well. It's going to be a pre-recorded segment. I'm also going to do a bit for Boya's channel, but Lee Chappie is also going to be sending us a little video to add into Boya's video. I'll put it on at the end of the chat I have with Boya, and I'm going to send the video over to Lee Chappie's channel as well. So I'm going to be up to my eyes this week with doing Leicester City stuff. But do you know what? I've got friends at Leicester City. As I said, Boya, Lee Chappie, really nice people. I'm always happy to do little bits and pieces with them around the games. Dijk76 said, should have bought Maddison from Norwich. Maddison's a great player, but going to have a big price tag come January. I don't think he's going to go anywhere in January. I really don't. I think if, and it's a big if, Maddison does move on at any point, it will be the summer. Brian said, I'm horrendously unprepared for that. Don't worry about it, mate. We'll blag it. We'll be grand. Boya said, would be good if Maddison moved to United. It feels a bit of a backward step. I'd agree. I mean, I know it's easy for me to come on here and banter Arsenal and Manchester United, and it is. They make it quite fucking easy for us at the moment, but that was an awful game of football tonight. It really was. I mean, if the Arsenal that came to play us at Anfield had shown up, they would have beaten United tonight. That Manchester United team is god awful. It really is absolutely god awful. They look like they don't know what the fuck they're at. I just said to Connor in one of our WhatsApp chats, it's one of the poorest Manchester United sides I can remember in my lifetime. I suppose that's probably a compliment to United because they've had good sides over the years, but that was a terrible game. That did not look like two clubs that are going to be battling it out for Champions League places at the end of the season. What's my opinion on the weather? It's a fucking pissing rain here, Audrey, where I am, so not great. Liverpool 3, Leicester 1 is the official Tards prediction. Liverpool 1, Leicester 0 for Stephen Booker. Ladies and gents, I don't want to have to be the man that does this, but we have a game before Leicester, don't forget. We have a game against Salzburg coming up on Wednesday, so that's probably the one we should be giving score predictions and stuff for. As I said, I am recording a section with Brian straight after this, so it'll be going up probably tomorrow afternoon, and it'll be a preview of the Salzburg game, and it'll be our monthly coverage of the FPL, the Blood Husky Fantasy Premier League here at Anfield Agenda. Right, so a bit of news with regards to staff at Liverpool Football Club as well, and it looks like Liverpool are set to appoint Porto's Vitor Matos to take over Pep Lijnders' former role of the link between the academy and first team squads. Obviously, Pep Lijnders was promoted to one of Jurgen Klopp's assistant coaches, so that did leave a gap there. We know Liverpool are going to be moving to that new facility in Kirkby. It was Kloppo's idea. Every time I say Kirby now, I feel really iffy about saying it because I know there's a K in it, but I know it's pronounced Kirby. But anyway, move on. So it looks like, yes, Porto, Vitor Matos will be put into that role that was previously occupied by Pep Lijnders to be the kind of go-between, the link between the young under 18s, under 21s and the first team. And we know Pep Lijnders worked at Porto as well. I reminded you guys about that before. I think he spent 6 or 7 years there working at Porto, bringing through the likes of Ruben Neves and stuff. So maybe this was a recommendation from Pep Lijnders, I don't know. But it does look like we are going to be welcoming Mr. Matos to Liverpool Football Club as a new coach. So just a little bit of news to bring you guys. You've probably seen it on social media today anyway. Craig, do you think Hurricane Lorenzo will hit us? Maybe the tail end of a buddy, but either way, it's a bit of rain, bit of wind. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Eugene McGeever said the United Muppets draw 1-1 against Arsenal tonight. Yep, BTEC versus Banter FC, and it was 1-1, and it was an awful game of football. Any news on the Carabao Cup thing? A little bit. Right, let me read this out because I do actually have some information on the Carabao Cup thing that I wanted to... I took some screenshots earlier on because I wanted to make sure I get this right. Let me read it out to you wonderful people. Right, so... about that. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, you will by the end of it. I read this out. I want to give credit to Sky Sports News because that's where this article comes from. So, the FA is assisting the EFL with inquiries into claims Liverpool's Pedro Chirivella was ineligible to play in the Carabao Cup victory over the MK Dons. The 22-year-old who spent the second half of last season on loan at Spanish club Extremadura came off the bench in the 63rd minute of the Reds' 2-0 win. Due to the midfielder's loan at the Segunda Division side, Chirivella required new clearance on his return to Anfield in the summer. Liverpool reportedly requested this in July, but the process can only be completed with the Football Association's intervention. So, as you can hear, that Liverpool did apply for that clearance in July, but the FA, being as slow as they are, don't seem to have sorted it out. A club statement has said, the club are aware of a potential administrative issue pertaining to one of our players. We are working with the relevant authorities in order to establish the facts of the matter and will be making no further comment until this process is complete. FA rules state that the obligation is on a club to ensure any player they wish to pick have necessary clearances in place before the respective match takes place. However, as it's a Football League competition, the EFL will lead any investigation with Carabao Cup rules stating organisers will have full power to look into alleged breaches and impose penalties by the way of reprimand, fine or another penalty as they may deem fit in the circumstances. Sunderland were fined by the EFL in 2014 for fielding South Korean striker Ki Jong-won in the League Cup, but it was later determined this was a mistake by the authorities. So, basically, that was a long-winded way of saying it is being investigated. If Liverpool are found guilty of it and Pedro Chirivella was ineligible, as you heard there are a few things open to the guys to do. They can either fine us, they can reprimand us, or perhaps even remove Liverpool from the competition, although that would seem pretty unlikely to me if you're looking at past instances as well, where when Sunderland did it, even though it was later proved that it wasn't their fault, it was just a fine that was handed out to them. So that's kind of what I'd be expecting, but you got to wait and see what happens, I suppose. You can never predict what's going on in the madness with the FA, the EFL, that type of stuff, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. Any news about Maddison, just as I spoke about at the top of the show, mate, and I will go back over it before we finish up. Ladies and gents, if you are enjoying the stream, if you do enjoy our channel, please do hit that subscribe button. It makes a massive difference to us. We're on the road to 23k. Every single one of your subscriptions means the world to us. And give us a thumbs up on the stream as well. I've actually got some people get in touch with us over the fact that we've shortened down, or we will be shortening down, the late night agendas. They seem to think it's a good idea. So fingers crossed it works out for us. We're just trying to keep everybody happy, as we always do on the channel. Alisson should start. I miss him though. Well, bit of news on Alisson actually while we're talking about him. See the way I let you segue me in there, Gerald. So, right, let me just see, where are we here? Let me grab my notes. So, Alisson has returned to first team squad training, which is great news. Really happy to hear that. But the medical staff will have the final word on when he is ready to start playing again. What we do know for certain is that he won't be available for the game against Salzburg and the game against Leicester at the weekend. So, I think the earliest we'll see him back is after the international break. And you know what? You don't want to see Alisson rush back. That kind of leads me to something else that I want to talk about around the goalkeeping situation, but I just want to get your opinions on the fact that we're not going to have Alisson back until probably after the international break. I think it's the right move. You've got to listen to the medical department. I don't want Alisson to come back, be rushed back too soon, end up getting an injury again and be out for even longer. We know Adrian has been a more than adequate replacement. He's played really, really well since he's come in. He had one fuck up, but that's alright. Everyone's allowed one fuck up. Kelleher, no, said Pepper Red. Kelleher, look, he'll probably be on the bench, I'd imagine. What else we got? Karius could go to United. Forget about Karius. Just imagine Karius is a Besiktas player now. I think if he carries on playing there, he hits the required amount of games, that will trigger the clause. They'll have to buy him. If I remember correctly, I think the overall package for Karius was coming to around 12 million. How long will the stream be on for, said Casper? We'll be finishing up just after 10:30 tonight, mate. Brian Kelly said, just in, I hit the like button and come on. Good man. There you go. Brian Kelly, no fucking about. Comes onto the stream, hits the thumbs up. Boom. Job done. Love it, mate. Well in. Yes, I said I had something I wanted to talk about with regards to the goalkeeper situation. It was something I read in the Echo, which was quite interesting, and do you know what it kind of made me think? So the Echo have a segment where they asked, is Adrian the best ever backup goalkeeper that Liverpool have had at the club? And I thought, you know what, that's a really good question from the Echo there, and I wanted to put it to you guys in the chat tonight. So what do you think? Adrian, have we had a better backup goalkeeper at Liverpool Football Club than Adrian? I don't know. It's actually very difficult to say. And look, it is also very early during Adrian's career. But then again, how do you go about judging backup goalkeepers? It's an interesting one. What do you guys think? Where would you place him in the overall, I suppose, grand scheme of things of backup goalkeepers for Liverpool Football Club? It's not a bad show. It's an interesting question, as I said, from the Echo. Don't believe the Echo is printed and written in Manchester. What's that got to do with that? It's a question, Debbie. It's just a simple question. All they said is he the best backup goalkeeper? I mean, whether it's printed in Manchester or not doesn't really make any difference here, Debbie, to be fair. I think it's a dumb question to ask after 5 minutes, said Lux. I kind of did caveat my statement by saying that, mate. And it's also a really difficult question to ask anyway, because a lot of the time backup goalkeepers don't really get much game time. So, yeah, it is a bit of an odd question, but it was something I thought maybe I'd bring to everybody. He won us a trophy, said V8, and there is that, mate. Yes, he did. Super Cup. It's difficult, said Big Man Steve. Adrian is not the best backup. Who is then? And this is only Liverpool-centric based question, Mr. Singh. So, who would you say is or has been the best backup goalkeeper for Liverpool over the years? I doubt we've had a better number 2, said Pepper Red. Casper reckons Adrian is the best second choice we've had, better than Mignolet and Karius. I'm trying to think back. I mean, we did have the time where we had the likes of... we had 3 decent keepers at one point, didn't we? We had Scott Carson, we had Pepe Reina, and then we had Chris Kirkland as well at one point. But I'd say Adrian's probably better than Carson and Kirkland. Brad Friedel, said Brian Newell, or David Newell and Brian Morrissey. I don't know about Brad Friedel. See, Brad Friedel seemed to progress when he left Liverpool, if you get where I'm coming from. His time during Liverpool wasn't that great, but when he went on, he had a very good career after he left Liverpool. I just don't know if he was that good while he was here. But that's my memory of it anyway. But look, you don't know what my memory's like. Brad Jones, clearly, said Connor. What have we got? Luckily we've hardly had to draw on a backup, said Brendan F. Farrell, which is a very good point. Yes, it is. It's a bit of an odd question, but I thought it was an interesting question. Pepe Reina, not really a backup, Debbie, was first choice when he was here. Alexander Doney, there's a blast from the past, Casper. Maybe one of the best backup goalkeepers here and now, said Popeye Doyle. Danny Ward said Boya. Do you know what? To be fair, Boya, with Danny Ward, I always thought he should have got more chances and more opportunities than he got. And Queevin Kelleher, I hope he doesn't fall by the same fate. I think Queevin Kelleher is proven that he's going to be good enough to play at the top level. Whether that's at Liverpool or not long term, I don't know. Lonergan, the best reserve keeper. Yeah, we've had a few weird ones over the years as well. Donny being one of them. Lonergan. Did we sign Alex Manninger? I know he was more brought in from a coaching perspective, but yeah, that was a strange signing as well. And then 118 Bogdan, which was just beyond ridiculous. Had a decent game against us in the Cup for Bolton, and we were like, oh, better sign him. He was fucking second choice for Bolton at the time though as well. Westerveld and Dudek, that I never liked Sander Westerveld, me, myself and I, but there definitely was competition there between the two of them. That is a very good show. Manninger, said Connor. Yes, unfortunately, said James Hardy. Mike Hooper, we're going right back there, Tom. Danny Ward was alright, said Liverpool FC till I die. I thought Danny Ward was decent as well. As I said, I thought at the time we probably should have kept him. Ward should be Wales number 1 over Hennessy, said Big Man Steve. What else we got? Hooper was annoying, said Pepper Red. Boya said, I love him. Feel it was a strange decision to leave Liverpool bench to go to Leicester's. Yeah, but maybe he thought he would have been more competitive, mate. Maybe he thought he would have got more chances, but as it stands, yeah, Danny Ward's career looks like it's kind of standing still a little bit. Audrey, all your comments are coming through. Stop writing the same thing over and over again, mate, or one of the mods will end up thinking that it's spam. Obviously, they're coming through. See, the reason I don't read out these type of comments, Audrey, is because they're basically attention-seeking comments, and You can see that they're coming through because they're on the screen. So it's a bit of a silly thing to write, Audrey, to be fair. Reserve keeper rented my friend's house for a lot of money for years and left and never played a game, said Bernadette Farrell. Oh, come on. Clearly Jamie Carragher was our best ever backup goalkeeper, said John Hamilton. Craig Holden's a good shout as well, Tom. I mean, that's a very fair shout. I mean, I think we all agree that I probably should have been number one. Adam Bogdan is now a Hib. Scott Carson, Chris Kirkland, all at Wigan as well as Liverpool. Yeah, Chris Kirkland is starting to do bits again for television. He was at one point, remember he was joint manager with, was it Vicky Jepson of the Liverpool ladies team? Did somebody say Hennessy? Said Danny. Indeed they did, my friend. And you watch along for the Salzburg game? Absolutely, 100% Casper. We'll be starting that at 7:30 mate on Wednesday. Just a reminder, I won't be streaming live tomorrow. I don't do live streams on Tuesdays because I have my doctor's visit. But we will have a pre-recorded segment ready to go for you guys tomorrow afternoon, which is why I keep saying make sure you've got those notifications turned on, because sometimes we'll just go live or sometimes we'll just put out a video and we won't give you guys any prior warning of it. So make sure you've hit that subscribe button, make sure you've got the notifications turned on. And as you can see from the image beside me tonight, we are working with Football Index this season. They have a special offer for Anfield Agenda subscribers. If you sign up to Football Index with the link in the description below, which by the way has a landing page that will take you through everything step by step by step, really nice and straightforward. If you sign up with Football Index with that link and deposit £20 or €20 to your account, Football Index will match that £20 and give you a bonus £20. So if you bet 20, you're going to get another 20 with Football Index. It is a gambling product. It is for UK and Irish residents only, 18 plus, and begambleaware.org is there for people who have any issues with gaming. But as I said, it is the only way this season that we're bringing any money into the channel, because we've turned off super chats, we've turned off ads. So the little bit we're doing with Football Index is basically to try and keep the lights on. So if you are enjoying the streams and if you do like Football Index or it's something you wanted to give a try, please do use the link in the description below to sign up. Bet 20, get 20. Do you know what I mean? That's a pretty damn good offer if you ask me. And I'm always fiddling a Football Index on my phone. I'm always having a look, see who's gone up, who's gone down. Mason Mount was one of my favourites at the start of the season. Kai Havertz, another person I've been investing in. If you don't know what Football Index is, that's the beauty of that link below on the landing pages. It will talk you through everything step by step by step, nice and easy. Boya said, hit the notifications. Boom, said Brian Kelly. Boya said, go for it, mate. I don't know what that is. Oh, on FIFA, sorry. I think, we have Boya and Connor going head to head on FIFA here. Serious shit going down here. Connor, I expect you to rep us well. If you lose this game, mate, hang your head in shame. Just finished work. What have I missed? Said Harry Williams. No problem, buddy. I will happily do a little bit of a recap. I did say I would earlier on in the stream. So, people are probably wondering what the title of tonight's stream is. Former Leicester manager Mickey Adams has urged James Maddison to sign for a club the likes of Liverpool or Manchester City and not the likes of United if he decides to move on from Leicester. Speaking about it, Mickey Adams said, Leicester have shown in terms of wages and ambition that they're good as anybody else. Maddison would have to go to Manchester City or Liverpool to improve on what he's got at Leicester. As a young man, he's got to keep developing his game and working hard. He must not listen to the hype or get ahead of himself. That's the time that it bites you in the backside as a footballer. And you know what? I think Boya agreed and I agreed as well. It would have to be a move to the likes of Liverpool or Manchester City for him to progress his career, because United, Arsenal, those types of moves are probably a sideward step for James Maddison right now. So I agree with Mickey Adams, and I wouldn't mind him at Liverpool, as I said as well. Have I ever got into superhero comics? No, I haven't, mate. But my little dude Lucas does. He loves Marvel and the likes. But no, not for me. I've no imagination. So Football Index is good. Get on it, people, said Debbie Scales. Thank you, Debbie. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It is a very good product. And as I said, the only reason that we're working with them is because it's a product that I use and a product that I enjoy. So we don't like to pitch things that we don't like, basically, on here, which is why the likes of Serendipity Furniture and stuff, who made this beautiful sexy ass throne that I'm sitting on. October is going to be Serendipity Furniture month on the channel, by the way, so there is that, which is good to look forward to. I have 170k on FIFA, said Reaper's Biggie Jur. Loads of people loving FIFA. How are we finding FIFA 20, by the way? Lots of people keep asking me, Craig, are you going to play or stream FIFA 20? And I'm going to have a go with Connor when he comes up. We're going to have a few games here when I meet up with Connor next, and I'll make a decision then, because I probably should. Do you know, I feel like I should. Craig, please play FIFA on Crack On, said VA. If I'm going to play it, I'll probably do it on here, to be honest, mate. Goldbridge is raging. I don't blame him. I can absolutely understand why he'd be raging. United were shy. And I mean awful. Like, truly terrible for a team that was at home. And a team that is now, what? How many points are they behind Liverpool at this moment in time? Let me just check that in the league table, actually, because it is interesting since you just point and laugh for a while. So let's have a look at the Premier League table then. Liverpool atop of it, of course. 7 wins from 7, 21 points. Manchester City second with 16. Leicester City in third place with 14. Arsenal still scraping into the top 4. But this goes to show you how far ahead Liverpool are right now. Only 7 games in. And already Liverpool are 9 points clear of our 4th place team. 9 points after 7 games. Where have we got Manchester United? 10th place right now. Manchester United are 12 points behind Liverpool after 7 games. 12 points. That goes to show you they're shy, basically. 12 points behind Liverpool. And they've only fucking played for 21 points. That is god-awful. And it's beautiful to see. And long may that continue. Pat Moynihan said, yeah, 12 points. It's nuts, isn't it? Well, we've only played 7. Liverpool, of course, perfect. 21 points and 21 points. I'm going to sit here with a big dirty smile on my face. But for United to be already 12 points behind us, it is. They truly are turning into the second version of Banter FC, as Mark used to like to call Arsenal. Now that you've mentioned the month of October, how is the real October doing? Anybody know? Said Tom. I don't. I haven't spoken to October in a while. Last that I heard, she wasn't going to be moving to Germany, which was her plan. I think she's going to be staying in the States, but I don't know. I'm sure she's doing well. Hope she's doing well. Didn't we break a record of winning our first 7 games in the Premier League, said John Cable. Yes, and we were also the first club to win the first 6 games in a row for back-to-back seasons in the Premier League. And as we know, Liverpool are now on a winning streak of 16 Premier League games in a row. But quite frankly, none of that really means anything unless we go on to lift the Premier League title this season. It's nice setting these records. It's nice breaking club records. Having a perfect start to the season. It's all great. But at the end of the day, what really matters is when 38 games has been played and we look at that league table, we want to see that Liverpool have done it, that have broken that hoodoo and won the Premier League. James Hardy said, I hope United never win the Premier League again. Well, I think they're not going to do it for quite a while, mate, to be fair. But fuck them, as we say on the channel. Grim Jimbo, welcome, mate. How are you? Great to see you in again. Did Cash move to London? Yes, Casper, she did. Cash and her girlfriend did move down to London. Really busy and exciting time for Cash. And as I said before, the lady is a force of nature. So I've no doubt she'll make a massive success of her time down in London. Another Europa League for Arsenal and Manchester United next season, said Finn Kavanagh. At this rate, mate, United, I think Arsenal will make European football next season, but at this rate, United, they need to book up their ideas or they're going to be struggling to even make the Europa League. Like right now, if you put Manchester United and Leicester City as an example side by side, you've got to say Leicester City are by far the better team all over the pitch. Which is a testament to the ownership at Leicester City, to the management of Brendan Rodgers there, to the recruitment that we're talking about. Well, I'm talking about that and looking at actually saying Leicester City right now, they lost Harry Maguire to Manchester United as well, but still look like a much better side. How mad is that? Casper said, if we win 8 from 8, we'll be the first team in Premier League history to have done that. Craig, do you think we could beat Manchester City at Anfield? There's going to be 2 massive games this season, buddy. 2 absolutely colossal games. I'd like to be going into it with a buffer on them of at least the 5 points that we have now. But yes, of course I believe we can beat Manchester City at Anfield. It's going to be very difficult because they're a damn fine side. But we can't do what we did last season and only take 1 point of the 6 available from the head-to-head games against City. I think, if we can at least win one of those 2 games, it will put us in a very, very good position. But it's a long season, as Willow said there. It's a very long season. There's a long way to go. We're only 7 games in, 31 to go. Kai, I agree with you on VAR being the most useless thing that ever happened to football. I said the same to Connor, mate, in our WhatsApp chat. That was a handball by Kolasinac. I want to be very clear about this. Yes, I want to see United struggle because I'm a Liverpool fan. But I also want to know what the fuck VAR was at. Because that was a clear handball by Kolasinac in that game. And it was looked at by VAR and I did nothing about it. Madness. And also for the Arsenal goal, the fact that the linesman put up his flag before Aubameyang put the ball in the back of the net is also really strange, because I thought the rule was that they're supposed to leave it, let play finish, and then if they've any doubt, like if they're in any doubt, keep the flag down, let play finish. But he put the flag up before Aubameyang scored. Now the referee didn't blow his whistle, so it did go to VAR and it was correctly given because Aubameyang was clearly onside. But between that and the Kolasinac incident, which was again just ridiculous, what is the bar? Where is the bar set for them to actually overrule the referee? Or at least ask the referee to get up off his ass and go over and look at the screen at the side of the pitch. Kevin Friend, for me, by the way, is one of the worst fucking referees in the Premier League. There was a couple of instances of absolute hypocrisy again by him today. So in the first half, Arsenal, I can't remember who it was, Chambers, was booked for stopping a counter-attack for Manchester United. And then 15 minutes later, pretty much an identical thing happened. United player brought down an Arsenal player in the centre of the field to stop a counter-attack, and Kevin Friend didn't give a yellow card. Now, how can you give a yellow card for pretty much the same thing 10-15 minutes beforehand and not do it? It just goes to show you there's no fucking consistency with Premier League referees. And look, I can talk about this till the cows come home. They're not going to get any better. We wondered what was going to happen with VAR. Yes, VAR has been intervening for the offside decisions, whether they're correct or incorrect, and or in the main seem to be getting them right. Some of them very, very slight decisions, but they seem to be getting them right. But what's the point of having it for overruling referees for penalties and stuff, or at least asking the referee to go and have another look at it, if they're just not going to do it? It just seems like they don't want to overrule their colleagues, or they don't want to undermine the referee. There's been a couple of clear things so far this season, but I have to say, as much as I don't want to admit this, I thought United should have had a penalty tonight for a Kolasinac handball, but that's just my opinion. Any updates on the fraud FIFA vote? Said Debbie. Yes, they've come out and said that there was no fraud or there was no wrongdoing, but to be fair, what were we expecting FIFA to say? When you've got national team captains and managers coming out and saying that they didn't vote for Lionel Messi, as FIFA have shown, and one of them said in fact I didn't even vote, and then FIFA are saying, oh no, there was no wrongdoing here, no, nothing to see here whatsoever. Hopefully Van Dijk goes and correctly wins the Ballon d'Or. Poor old Ollie has aged since he got the job, said James Hardy. Happens to a lot of managers, mate, in the Premier League. You can see Mourinho as well. I mean, he looked like he aged almost overnight. But yeah, it's a difficult old job. I can only imagine that the stress that they're under. But as I said from day one, Solskjaer should never have been given that job. He is tactically inept, and he is no way experienced enough to manage a club the size of Manchester United, especially in the position that Manchester United are in right now. They need a steady hand there. They need somebody to help guide them. It looks from the outside like Ollie's a bit of a puppet, if I'm being honest with you. That's just my take on it, and I know United fans probably don't give a shit what I have to say, and I understand that, because if it was the other way around, I'd probably feel the same. Craig, would you take a point from the Etihad? Away? Yes, I would, JDB. I would take a point there. If we finish the season, let's just say we draw home and we draw away with Manchester City, or we win at home and we lose away to Manchester City, I think as long as we match Manchester City in the head-to-heads, I think we've got a very, very good chance of going to win the league this season. I think the head-to-heads will be pivotal, and the least that I want is for us to end up with a mirror of the results, at the very least. I think if we can do that, as I said, I'm quietly confident we'll go about our business this year. I don't want to say we're going to win the league, because as many people have pointed out, it's really far too early to say that. But when you've started with 7 wins out of 7, you can't but be happy. Right, what else have we got? Let me keep your comments coming. United relegation candidates, said Mark Anthony. United made a huge leap from 11th to 10th place tonight. Woo! That is a big leap, Rabadan. It's great, isn't it? I mean, I'm smiling we weren't even playing today. I mean, I'm smiling because that is one of the worst United-Arsenal games I can remember. Two sides that look god-awful. Really, really god-awful. United being the home side, the onus was kind of on them. Arsenal probably would have taken a point before the game. GFFGG Triple G said, I swear Maddison hates Liverpool. Why? Why do you think he hates Liverpool? That's a really weird thing to say. Unless, of course, you've seen something that I've completely missed. I think refs are getting worse, said Dan. Connor's 2-1 up, is he? In the battle against Boya. 2-1, come on, don't let us down, mate. I mean, it's all on the line here, Connor. Craig, looks like your son needs a kick up the ass. Boya's beating him. He's pulled it back to 2-1, so it's alright. He's not my fucking son either, by the way. Can we stop saying that? He's definitely not my son. That means I would have had to have had a kid at what, 17? Nah, not me. I'm too sensible for that. Pearl Ollie in a few weeks is going to watch his defence get dismantled by Salah, Firmino and Bobby. Yes, I hope they're still playing as poorly as they are right now when we rock up to Old Trafford on is it the 20th or the 19th of October? It's a Sunday kickoff, I know that much because I'm coming home from holiday the day before the game. It was like watching Huddersfield versus Fulham, said Casper. Probably about the level, mate. Yes, and I think we're maybe being a bit disrespectful towards Fulham there. At least Roy Keane has some fire in his belly. Ollie's like a damp squib, said Bernadette Farrell. Kalina should have been cloned. Yes, I agree, Pepperhead. Just go, like, if they can do it with a sheep, they can clone Pierluigi Kalina, who was without a doubt the best referee of my generation. The 20th, thank you, John, for that one. Are we going for Maddison? Shay wants to know. Basically, mate, Mickey Adams, former Leicester manager, said that if Maddison was to move on, it would only make sense for him to move to a club like Manchester City or Liverpool and not the likes of Manchester United. That's what the title of the stream is about, buddy. What have we got? I think Klopp won't buy a player in January. I agree. I don't really see Liverpool doing much in the January window, especially around first team players. But if the right opportunity presents itself, you never know. You can never say never, but if I was a betting man, which I am, I wouldn't be putting my money on it. Somebody said Curtis Jones was 67p a share on Football Index. Did I get that right? Earlier on I missed who it was on the chat, so I do apologise. But yeah, they're the type of players that I look for. I think there's great value in the likes of Curtis Jones, Ryan Brewster, Greenwood at Manchester United. Players like that are coming through very young, just starting off in their careers. I think if you're willing to sit on your portfolio like I do on Football Index, and wait, I've sat on mine basically since the day I started. I don't think I've done anything but keep adding and adding and adding. But yeah, if you're gonna sign up, don't forget, link below in the description. If you bet 20 with us on Football Index using that link, you'll get 20 in return from Football Index for signing up. Liverpool won't sign anyone before the summer transfer window, said, is it Sumia? Excuse me if I mispronounced. Do you think we'll strengthen it in January? No, if, as I said, Grimbo, that's a better name, isn't it, Grimbo? No, I don't think we will, but you never know. I would say, like, if you pick up an injury or something, but I'm not a fan of going and signing somebody if you do pick up an injury, because you're then thinking long term for a short term problem. I seen something today. Remember we spoke about Richard Keogh having a bit of a drunken incident. Richard Keogh has now been ruled out for up to 15 months for Derby County. He's 33 years of age. He's the club captain, and I think he's got about 16 months left on his contract at the club. So that could possibly signal the end of Richard Keogh's career. I hope not, from his point of view, but very weird story, that one. I want Liverpool to sign Bruno Fernandes, said Sean Chow. I think that ship may have sailed, buddy, but again, you never know. Someone said yesterday that United were linked to signing him again. I'm doing really well, thank you, Declan. I hope you are too. Liverpool don't need anybody at the moment, said Popeye Doyle. Liverpool are the best club in the world, said Lee. Craig, I have a good idea. What's this? Do the 23:15 on Saturday and Friday or match day, and do the 23:30 on school days. So is that 9:30 and 10:15? Sorry, Callum, I'm not sure what part of the world you're watching in, mate. I'm going to be doing streams from 9:30 every night, mate. 9:30 to about 10:30 is when we'll be doing the late night agendas from now on. Tonight we started late because of the United game, and I knew a lot of people would be watching it. Isn't Maddison a United fan's common knowledge? Yeah, but that doesn't really make any difference in this day and age, mate. We've seen many instances of players who support one club going and playing for another club. It happens all the time. I think players are more interested in their careers rather than who they support. Koulibaly be a perfect partner for VVD, said Darren Neal. We ain't going to go out there and buy Koulibaly, mate. I think Carlo Ancelotti said he'd leave if Napoli sold Koulibaly while he was there. Well, at least last summer anyway. Bring in Dimitri Payet, we need him, said Casper. 22:30 is 10:30. Yes, I'm well aware that is 10:30, mate, but I never start streams at 10:30, which is why I was asking Callum, are you somewhere in Europe that's an hour ahead of us, mate? That's why I was asking, because I don't really start streams that late. It's usually 9:30. It was a crash when the team was at a bonding meal. I know 2 other players were involved in a crash, Audrey. And the article I read anyway didn't say if if Keogh was involved in that crash. There was 2 players involved in that crash from Derby. One of them I think has been done for drink driving. What's the crack, Declan Rogers? How are you, sir? I hope life's treating you well. Why are Matip and Mane not in training? Perhaps just being rested, Bassett. Perhaps just making sure that they're okay. I don't know. I can't give you an answer, but we will talk about it. I'm going to finish up now in a minute because, as I said, I'm about to film a preview of the Salzburg game and a FPL catch-up with Brian Morrissey. So please do keep an eye out for that on the channel tomorrow. Should be going out around lunchtime, fingers crossed. I know it was a short one tonight, but as I said, we are shortening the late night agendas. Everything will be less than an hour now. But you're going to get more pre-recorded content as well going forward. So trying to mix it up a little bit, basically, ladies and gents, to keep everybody happy. Mane has not recovered from his knock, said Callum. Darren Neal said, Shay, best signing ever. You're doing an assignment for college. Hope we're doing well. I'm really well, thank you, Declan, and I hope college has gone well for you, mate. It's been a pleasure getting to know you on here, mate, over the past few months. Shame we won't get to interact on Twitter anymore, really, because I'm not on Twitter anymore. But good to see you on the channel, mate, and I hope life's treating you well. V8 reckons 4-1 against Salzburg. Bassett reckons we'll beat them 5 or 6-0. Don't underestimate them. I said this when the draw was made. Salzburg are a decent side, ladies and gents. At the end of the season, I want us to say, let's talk about 19, said Sean. So do I. And 7 would be rather nice as well. Saif says, Maddison, are we actually? Again, mate, it's just that Mickey Adams, former Leicester manager, said that if he does move on, it'd be better to move to the likes of Liverpool and City than somewhere like Manchester United. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call that one a night, and I will talk to you wonderful people on Wednesday. No late night agenda tomorrow, because you guys know, regular viewers will know, I don't stream on Tuesdays because I see my doctor on Tuesdays. We will have a segment going out around lunchtime. Other than that, I will see you wonderful people at 7:30 for the Salzburg Watchalong. I hope you can join us for that. Make sure you've got the notifications turned on because we don't schedule Watchalongs, remember that. So don't look out for a notification, or don't look out for it to be scheduled. We will be just going live at 7:30. So make sure you've got your notifications turned on, and make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. And finally, ladies and gents, just give the stream a quick thumbs up before you head off. I will chat to you guys soon. Thank you so much for joining us as always. Take care of your families, tell your loved ones that you love them, and up the motherfucking Reds. Love to you all, ladies and gents.